And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry. And protecting their interests.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. That's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And there is the now famous exchange between Bernie Sanders and RFK Jr. during his confirmation hearing, where he basically calls out Bernie Sanders for being the fraud that he is. And Bernie Sanders can't help himself, wants universal health care for every American, which, no, is never going to happen in this country. You want that, Bernie? Go move somewhere else. Anyway, let's get into this exchange a little deeper, and then we're going to do an Abby Phillips roundtable on CNN, where, again, they just go off on RFK just because he's RFK and he's being backed and endorsed and nominated by Donald Trump. Let's go.
So I think in many ways, President Trump and Mr. Kennedy have asked some of the right questions. Problem is their answers will only make a bad situation worse. So let me ask Mr. Kennedy again. If we want to make America healthy, will you assure the American people that you will fight to do what every other major country on earth does, guarantee health care to every single American?
Health care to every single American. No. That would be my short answer. No. I'll just answer you. Not happening. We can't even give our veterans good quality health care with the universal system we have set up for them at the VA. It's awful. It's been awful for decades. And you want to put 350 million Americans on universal health care? That's going to make America healthy. No, it's not. Go look in Canada. Go look in England. Go look all over the place where they have this universal socialized medicine. And yes, it's all covered. Everything's covered. There's anything to worry about, except when they tell you, yeah, get online. Or no, we're not going to do that for you because we can't spend that money on you because you're already old. And we just, we'll make you feel comfortable, but we're not going to try to fix your problem. Because there's a 22-year-old that we just brought into the country, and we need him to stay healthy to produce. It's called the Complete Live System, everybody, by 𝐬𝐿_Emanuel. It is basically the structure of Obamacare. How's that worked out, Obamacare, by the way? That's the closest we've ever gotten to universal health care in this country, and it's been an absolute wreck. Our government could run a lemonade stand to profitability in the middle of a desert at a crossroads. They couldn't do it. And you want them running your health care? I'm not saying the insurance companies are perfect, but there's no chance that I want the United States government in charge of my health insurance and telling me and my doctor what can be done. Do you? Do you really want that? No, you don't. And I'm not saying the system's perfect now, because it isn't. No system's perfect. But I'll take what we have right now and maybe make some tweaks to it with some kind of catastrophe fund for people who simply cannot work and simply cannot get their own health insurance. I understand that. That's a different discussion. But when you want to talk about universal health care, you lose me, and you always will. It's never ever going to work in this country, and it doesn't work anywhere else. And especially in a country with 350 million people, who a lot of whom have excellent health plans through their employer. They're not going to give that up, and nor should they.
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries in the world right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? It's a simple question.
This guy's been singing the same song for how long now, Bernie Sanders? Give it up.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies, it's in Congress too. Almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry. And protecting their interests.
I thought that would go. No. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
They came from the workers, not the pharmaceutical executives or the PAC money. They came from the workers. What does that mean? They came from the workers? So pharmaceutical workers, you know that the people who donated to you individually, those were pharmaceutical workers? You broke down everybody? The person that was a cop gave me this much money. A pharmaceutical person gave me this much money. A teacher. What the hell is he talking about? No, you got your money from Big Pharma. one way or another. And we have the proof because, what is it, opensecrets.org, whatever, I think that's what it's called, has you as the top guy. So cut it out. You got caught. And he's going to say, I knew this would come up. Well, if you knew it would come up, maybe you should have declined to even be at this hearing. Hey guys, if you're still watching, I really appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the like button right now. Subscribe. I do one video a day at least. If I don't do one video, it's because of circumstances that were beyond my control and I couldn't get it done. But please like, share, and subscribe and help me grow this channel. I appreciate it.
In 2020, you were the single largest
Because I had
receiver of
small
pharmaceutical money.
contributions from workers all over this country. Workers,
You were the
that's
single-
not a nickel from corporate
Bernie, you were
tax.
the single largest.
From corporate PACs. Okay, he's playing cute now. This is like semantics 101.
Acceptor of
workers-
pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in the industry.
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million.
Okay, you got me there, but it was out of 200 million. Was that where he's going at the end? I still don't. Can somebody explain to me what he means? It was workers. Was there a union within the pharmaceutical industry that gave Bernie Sanders $1.9 million, whatever it is? What is he talking about? Clarify that for me. Somebody, if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong. But I think he's just caught here. Did he not think that? I knew that would come up. Or maybe he was hoping that Bobby Kennedy wouldn't bring that up on him. But he probably had enough of Bernie's badgering, and he said, you know what? I'm done. I'm bringing it up. I'm taking it out of the holster, and I'm going to put him down with it. And that's what he did.
All right, but you have not answered, last question. You have not answered my question.
Mr. Chairman, we're 3 minutes.
Ask you a question.
How do we
We're-
make
he's-
America
Miss-
healthy if you don't guarantee health
Chairman,
care
we're
to all
literally
people?
3 minutes over here now.
Well, so are other
How long
people.
does it keep going? At some time, you're just battering the witness, Bernie.
So I'll stop it there. That's when he gets cut off. But again, Bernie Sanders, only answer Bernie Sanders has in his mind to how to make America healthy is to just have the government take over your health insurance and let them be cradle to the grave caregivers for you. You want that? Do you really want that? I think most people do not, unless it's somebody who just says, yeah, I don't want to make any decisions and I don't ever want to get a job and I just want to be granted health insurance because I'm here. Nothing in the Constitution says anything about health insurance, about medical care, nothing. It's not there. It doesn't exist. So everybody always says, oh, I have a right to health insurance or health care. It's a right. No, it's not a right. You have a right as a human being as access to health, to medical care. That I will say. You have right to access to it, but you don't have the right to have somebody else pay for it. And as I said, plenty of things to talk about with the insurance industry in this country. That's a whole different discussion that needs to be tackled finally once and for all seriously and see if we can come up with some solutions. Maybe really open the free market to health insurance. Really open it. Get the government's thumbs completely off the scales and let these insurance companies battle for your dollar. I don't want them within 100 miles of deciding how I get my health insurance, how I get to see my doctor, what procedures my doctor does for me to keep me healthy. Anyway, let's go to CNN, Abby Phillips. They're going to talk about RFK. And once again, Abby Phillips, anytime a conservative talks, she cuts him off as soon as he starts to bring his point home. Ready? Let's go.
I was more impressed with RFK after his hearing and in fact, with 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Gabbard as well. I think some of the attacks on RFK are just absolutely ridiculous. At the end of the day, regardless of what RFK's position is on the vaccine or anything, Donald Trump is president of the United States, and he has to follow Donald Trump's agenda. And it was Donald Trump who got us Operation Warp Speed at the time that people like Kamala Harris was
Donald
saying
Trump
that
has
she
also said that he thinks that that vaccines cause autism, which
As he's saying, Kamala Harris, if you remember, when that thing came out, she said, I wouldn't take that because Donald Trump said, I don't trust it. Donald Trump had it done. Well, Donald Trump did get that done. And I'm not even going to get into my feelings on it right now. But Donald Trump is the one that got that done. And then all of a sudden, once Donald Trump lost the election, it was the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? Everybody remember that? But once again, Abby Phillips cuts this man off just as he's bringing that home and about to say how Kamala Harris is a complete hypocrite. And now you'll see the rest of this time, she won't cut anybody off because they're all going to be talking her narrative, her talking points, the way she thinks. Let's go.
completely false. I mean, so the person in that position, I think it's right that
You worry about it.
lawmakers
This
should
is
say,
another
do you believe
example
in
of-
settled science or not?
This is another example of lack of details, not interested in the
Just let me cut it off for a second. No, you know what, Abby Phillips? What you and everybody else at that table still doesn't understand is that the amount of damage done to the science, to the medical field over the past 5 years is almost irreparable at this point for so many reasons. I'm not going to get into them right now. If you're watching this, you probably understand them and know them. But Abby Phillips, these people around the table, they still don't get that. We don't trust it.
details. And I think RFK will do, he's an advocate, he is someone, and that's a nice way of putting it, he's religious about this in some way. And so he will do what it takes while he's in there to create destruction.
You ever notice when somebody that's not following the left's narrative is passionate about something, that they turn it into a religion? The dogma runs strong in you. Isn't that what the late Dianne Feinstein said to, who did she say it to? It was one of Trump's nominees, I think, in 2017. It's slipping my mind right now who she said it to. Was it Amy Coney Barrett?
The dogma lives loudly within you. And that's of concern. But
it's always been, it's religious, it's cultish. It's always that way. But the Democrat, you could be, then you're if it's a Democrat, you're passionate. You're a pioneer. You're a trailblazer. That's what that is if you're a Democrat. If you're a Republican, you're a cultist and you're religious about it.
Which will lead to the deaths of thousands and thousands of people unnecessarily, unproven science. And so that's the difficulty is Donald Trump may be president, but he's not paying attention to the details. He's not paying attention to Elon. He's not paying attention over here and here and here. And so I think
she just rattles these. He's not paying attention to Elon. He's not paying attention to this. Not paying attention. Meanwhile, Donald Trump doesn't sleep and literally has his pulse on everybody around him 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. But he's not paying attention to anything. He's just letting these people do whatever they want. I mean, it's so clueless.
If it got him into too much trouble, he might pay attention, but RFK could do an enormous amount of damage in that short time.
And that's right. And the reason that RFK is there is not because of his medical knowledge. I mean, let's be clear.
Who was the last HHS secretary that had medical knowledge? Who was it? I'll tell you who it was. It was Tom Price, 2017. Donald Trump's HHS secretary. He got forced out because he was apparently using private and military flights for some private business. He was forced out. He was the last person with a medical degree to be head of HHS. I think there have been 3 people in the last how many, I don't know how long, I'll find that too, who were actually medical doctors or had a medical degree who were head of HHS. So this guy should really do some research before he says something like that, because it doesn't seem to be a requirement of the job.
He's an anti-vaxxer. He's somebody who is going to cause harm as someone in that position of power. But he's there because he flipped when Donald Trump wanted him to flip. He's there because he gave his support to Donald Trump during the campaign. He's there as a political favor. Imagine putting somebody in the charge of the health of our children as a political favor. This is crazy, but this is where we are.
Wow, because no other president's ever appointed somebody to a cabinet position as a political favor, right? That's never happened before. I mean, really? It's pretty much everyone there is a political favor in one way or another, and it goes through every presidency, regardless of whether it's a Democrat or a Republican. They are picking people for their cabinet and other positions within their administration based on political favors. Period. Nonsense by these people. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I mean, do you think RFK sails through now? Do you think he makes it? I think he makes it. I think that Kash Patel makes it. Tulsi Gabbard, questionable. And it's absolutely ridiculous that these are even questions. Donald Trump won 7 swing states. Donald Trump won the popular vote. Donald Trump dominated the Electoral College. Donald Trump has a mandate, 53 Senate seats. That doesn't happen without Donald Trump at the head of the ticket. The House, still in Republican control. Never a chance of that happening without Donald Trump at the head of the ticket. And these senators want to play games with these nominees, these Republicans, these Susan Collins, the Murkowskis, the Mitch McConnells, the Lindsey Grahams, the Cassidys. I can go on, and let me tell you something. Mark this down. If one of these nominees doesn't get through, I don't know who wants to be that guy or that girl that's going to be held responsible for it. Or guys or girls, because that will be the end of their political career. They will be primaried and they will lose. Mark this down today. That is what will happen if one of these people doesn't make it through. The voter base of Donald Trump will not tolerate it this time. And there's big money in that voter base now. Nicole Shanahan, RFK's running mate when he was still running a presidential campaign, is a billionaire. She basically came out and said, whatever Republican, I think whether he gets through or not, whatever Republican votes against RFK, she says, I will fund a primary against you and I will get a group with me to do it.
Please know I will be watching your votes very closely. I will make it my personal mission that you lose your seats in the Senate if you vote against the future health of America's children. And more than that, I also want to say to Senators Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, Tom Tillis, James Langford, Cory Booker, John Fetterman, Bernie Sanders, and Catherine Cortez Masto, this is a bipartisan message, and it comes directly from me. While Bobby may be willing to play nice, I won't. If you vote against him, I will personally fund challengers to primary you in your next election, and I will enlist hundreds of thousands to join me. Big Pharma and Big Ag have exploited us for far too long. It ends now. You're either on the side of transparency and accountability, or you are standing in the way. The choice is yours. Please choose wisely.
They're basically going to outspend whoever that incumbent Republican is who voted against RFK. They're going to outspend them to the point where they cannot win a primary. Whoever they put up to challenge that person will win. They just won't be able to lose because the amount of money they are going to throw into it will make it virtually impossible for that person to lose. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I appreciate you watching. And I'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.